What's up, everybody? It is Big Adrian, the Wolfman of Comedy, coming at you for another episode of Howling It Live, solo edition. There's a lot of my Monster Squad that are busy doing life, and that's great. That's great. But I wanted to make sure that I did a podcast today, even though it was solo edition. I'm doing it a little bit early, but the reason is I'm going to be doing a double feature, taking Spooky Bitch and my son out to some movies. So there's a lot of stuff we're going to talk about today. For sure, a little recap on the week, a little growth, a little stuff. You'll hear the little dog barking. But one of the things that we're going to be doing is recap today, kind of talking about some stuff, some growth. What can be scary about that growth kind of a deal. Also, some movie reviews, some announcements, all sorts of stuff going on, which is cool. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, y'all, all right? Another episode right here coming at you. So, firstly, I want to let everybody know that you can always follow me, especially if you're following on YouTube right here on the YouTube channel, The Wolfman of Comedy, Big Adrian, The Wolfman of Comedy up here on YouTube. You can always follow me on social media. That is Facebook, Big Adrian Lopez. That's Big Adrian, all one word. Also on Instagram, you got Big Daddy L714, Wolf Daddy 714, and Big Adrian Comedy. That's all on Instagram. So please make sure you like, subscribe, send me messages, all that kind of good stuff. Follow for sure. And let everybody know, okay? Let everybody know. And please let everybody know if you need some tattoos, because I'll tell you right now, a lot of the tattoo business is starting to pop up again during the summer, which is interesting. It usually doesn't pop up in the summer. It usually pops up like around spring, April. Everybody gets their income taxes and stuff. But a lot of people are booking, so if you need any ink work, please let me know. Message me, all that kind of good stuff. We'll set you up on that stuff going on, because it's going to start getting really busy. So just want to let everybody know. All right, so let's go ahead and get into a little recap of my week. So weekly recap of this week, man. A lot of stuff that went on for sure. Me personally, I finished the third week of school for my first two classes of my second master's right here. It was a grueling week, to be honest with you. I don't know if anybody else kind of felt it. I know there's the heat and blah, 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 blah. I get all that part. But this week was pretty long, y'all. I kind of felt like this week was it dragged for me, for sure. But it was trying to schedule and trying to make sure to find out how to get everything set up, I think was my biggest thing. For me personally, there's a couple of assignments I had to do for school. Life stuff is switching up, especially the work situation. There's a lot more work that's happening. So it was kind of getting used to adapting to all of it. And honestly, I don't know if anybody else went through this week. If you do, please make sure you comment. But one of the things that I realized this week is that there was a lot of things I had to adapt to. A lot of information, a lot of this, a lot of people being honest and letting me know certain things that were going on, and just in me trying to figure out some stuff here and there. So there was a lot of adapting, and I don't think I really kind of felt that I was ahead of it, to be honest with you. I think that I kind of felt like I was behind a little bit. I don't know if anybody kind of felt like that this week. If you do, again, make sure you comment. But I kind of struggled this week a little bit. Plus, I was doing some other spiritual growth. So I'm trying to find out some stuff about myself and stuff like that. But this week was kind of there's some challenges that came up. And I think that that's one of the things that we might end up talking about for sure, is that challenging aspect, right? Because we use the word struggle a lot, but there's a lot of challenges. I don't think anything was really a struggle, but it was a lot of challenges, right? That I had to face up with everything. Looking at finances, looking at some spiritual stuff I was working on, some people that I was helping out, some other people with some life things that they were going through, my own life things and growth that I was going through as well, some insecurities I had to work on because it was getting challenged. And I know that this is happening because on Tuesday of this upcoming week, I will be actually in 2 more days, I'll be celebrating 16 years clean, yo. And it's a big feat, man. You know what I mean? It's a big feat for sure. And I know that usually for me, I get a little more sensitive around that time. I think for a lot of us, when we go around a certain time frame of our lives, or even like throughout the year, there's a lot of other things that for us, we get a little more sensitive. Certain things bug us a little bit more. So I think I kind of went through that a little bit. But the interesting part about it though is I didn't get like pissed off and angry and bitter or whatever, because normally I don't know what the hell's going on, right? So there's a lot of mindset changes for sure going up. So it's kind of like what we're going to talk about this week. We're going to kind of talk about that aspect of looking at life as challenges and not as struggles. All right. So that's kind of like what we're going to be talking about this week. But before we do, we'll go ahead and get into a little bit of entertainment corner. So let's go ahead and do that a little bit. So entertainment corner is going to deal with some updates, some announcements, all that kind of good stuff. What's going on with the Wolfman? Big Adrian over here. I will be speaking on August 9th. I believe that is a Saturday. I'll be speaking at the Garden Grove Volano Club. One of the things is I'll be sharing my story. And of course, I always add humor to that aspect. But if you're around 8 p.m. at the Garden Grove Volano Club, I'll be sharing my story of recovery, y'all. So you're more than welcome to come on down for that, okay? Also, I actually, last night actually did film footage for the second short film of Howling Big Productions. Now, I'll be honest with you, if y'all have seen the first short film movie, Athlete, right? It took a few weeks, it took this, and months of editing, whatever. This one isn't gonna be that much. It's gonna be probably like 2 or 3 minutes of a short film. Yes, Toby, I do hear you. It's gonna be about 2 or 3 minutes of a short film. We're gonna see how I can do it. Honestly, it was just last minute. I said, I gotta do something, right? Because I kind of felt like the night was kind of going with me. So I got some footage around the house, did this, with that. Started thinking like, that creativity going on. So hopefully y'all will like it. Just a short little 2 or 3 minute thing just to kind of be creative. One of the things, and I'll kind of describe this when we start discussing kind of the topic a little bit. But I did get some footage yesterday, so that short film I'll be editing, I believe, this month. So it should be out before the end of the month. I'm hoping it'll be out before the end of this month on YouTube. So look out for the second short film of Howling Big Productions. I'll be alone for a weekend, so the last weekend of this month, so I'll have plenty of time to kind of do that and start some book reports and this and that, whatever. And I will be doing some open mics in the next coming weeks. Okay, everybody, just to let you know, I've been saying this, but I will be doing some open mics the next couple weeks. So make sure you look out on that. So starting in August, you'll have a new short film that'll be up. You'll have a couple probably excerpts, of some open mic comedy sets that I'll be doing, some new material, and that should be out and up here on the YouTube channel. So make sure that you do share and like and comment and stuff, okay? So good stuff going on. Also this week, one of the things that I did is I started looking at possibly getting into auditioning for some plays and stuff like that. And if I kind of thought about looking into like Long Beach Playhouse. They're doing the Jekyll and Hyde play, but with everything Day, and then all of a sudden this, the Halloween season gets up, and the Wolfman gets really busy during Halloween, going and celebrate and doing his thing. I might push it till next year, so probably next year I'll go for some auditions. And another thing that I kind of thought about doing, so this is brand new fucking right here announcement right here going on. Before the end of the year, I think I'm gonna get some headshots and put a resume and stuff so I can start getting my stuff into auditions. So that'll be another goal that I'm gonna be shooting for this year, is to get my headshots and stuff that, that look, right? Gotta get that look right, but also working on myself. Just came back from the gym with Spooky Bitch and stuff. I got a good workout in. Really looking at my diet, really looking at my working out, really getting up a little bit early and all that kind of good stuff. And again, I'll announce this a little bit later, in the episode. But I'm working on myself a little bit more because I want to get some headshots out. I want to get some, possibly shoot some of my stuff out for some auditions starting next year. So Wolfman is going to be getting busy, getting himself ready, doing what he's got to do because, you know, next year I want to start attacking more things, but also getting into the aspect of, you know, doing some more open mic nights, getting some more networking going on, doing this short film, another short film, possibly at the end of the year, possibly in either October, November, that'll be out. And then, like I said, getting these headshots and a resume kind of together and say like, hey man, this is what he's done, this is what he can do, and blah, 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 all that kind of good stuff. So be on the lookout, man, because the Wolfman is back, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And this whole week kind of helped me to kind of get remotivated is what happened. Sometimes you have one of those weeks that's challenging and whatever, and then it kind of kicks you in the ass and gets you more motivated, you know what I mean? So we'll talk about that, like I said in the topic today, about, you know, all this stuff that kind of happened this week. But another announcement, we're gonna go ahead and go into not only announcement corner, but we're gonna go into movie reviews, y'all. Movie reviews. So this week, there's a couple of movies that me and Spooky Bitch and Frankie kind of saw. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the first one right here that we're gonna review a little bit. Jurassic World Rebirth. Okay, now I'm gonna let you know something. The movie was okay, right? I'll give you like maybe like a half paw up. Now, the reason is, it wasn't like it was bad, but, yo, they gotta leave those dinosaurs alone, dog. You know what I mean? Like, they never get what they're trying to try to do. All the plans since the first freaking movie, man, it never works out. It's always the fucking dinosaurs and then attacking and whatever. And then they have this weird fucking dinosaur that looked like an alien and shit. Like, they're kind of reaching at this point, like 30 years later, bro, with this franchise. Leave the dinosaurs alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're and this one they're kind of dying off and whatever, but they're still kind of near the equator and all this other stuff. And you know what I mean? It's just at this point, just leave the damn dinosaurs alone, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's just let them be. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that I kind of got out of the movie. I kind of started getting a little like, okay, there's nothing new. You know what I mean? Kind of a deal. So if you're gonna see it, you're gonna see it. You're not really missing much if you don't. But like, you know what I mean? You know, leave the dinosaurs alone at this point, bro. You know what I mean? It's nothing's new. There's not gonna be like, oh my god, wow, or whatever. Just at this point, dude, the franchise is what it's at, and just let it die out, bro, or something. Do one last movie and just be like, you know what, fuck it, they're all gone, or they took over the world, or give me something, bro. You know what I mean? But Jurassic World Rebirth, really, I was just like, okay, I get it. Every couple of years, they bring another Jurassic movie up, and hey, by the way, and I'm like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But there's another movie, so we'll kind of get into that one, which I really enjoyed. Superman. Oh my God. So I gotta tell you, me, Spooky Bitch, Frankie, we all went to go see it. Santino couldn't see it. He was out of state. I'm glad, Santino, you had a safe trip. Love you, brother. I'm glad you came back. You know, get some rest for sure. I know that was a turnaround of a trip. But Superman, okay, look, y'all, I'm a big fucking Batman freak for sure. I'm a Halloween freak and all that kind of stuff, but I was very skeptical about this movie, okay? I was not really looking forward to seeing the movie. I was not really looking forward. I was like, all right, because the trailers, Superman's all messed up. I really went only to see Crypto, the dog, or whatever. You know, they have all these other fucking superheroes, and I'm like, it's gonna be one of those movies, whatever. I'm gonna tell you right now, 2 giant paw prints up for Superman, everybody, okay? If you've seen it, you can comment or whatever. If you didn't like it, well, whatever. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I am a fan of comics. I'm a fan of DC. I'm a fan of Marvel too, and all the other extra whatever the hells. But I'll be honest with you, I was thoroughly impressed, pleased, happy. Man, this movie actually, I'm actually gonna go see it again this afternoon. That's one of the movies I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna take my son and Spooky Bitch again to go see Superman again, but we're gonna see a horror movie before we go see that at the AMC. I'll be honest with you, I was expecting very little, and I got so much more. Superman is a whole different take on the guy. I wasn't really too much into the Superman because of that. I'm about that Christopher Reeves, old school Superman. You know, he embodied him, man. Of course, that's the era that I kind of grew up. But man, this guy does a great job. Everybody in the casting is great. There's there's action. Of course, there's action. It's a fucking, you know, a superhero movie. James Gunn knocks it out of the park. I heard they did a $225 million budget for this movie, and already in this weekend, it's already come up with 217 million of that back, yo. You know what I mean? And the weekend's not over yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, the weekend's not over yet. You know what I mean? Like, because we're gonna go back, and it's just the first opening weekend, right? So, one of the things is that this movie takes a different place. It looks at Superman with some vulnerability. I'm not gonna give it away. I never do that, but I just want to kind of give you my intake on it. Man, I'll be honest with you right now. Man, it's a different angle. It's a different little storyline. It shows Superman with some vulnerability. It shows a little bit of a lot of humanity. There's some stuff that kind of relates to all that shit that's going on right now with the deportation and the ICE kind of crap, and you know, just people just being human beings, bro. And there's messages in this motherfucker. I cried a couple times. There's a couple heart-to-heart moments in this movie. You could see the main actor, and I don't know his name, but the main actor that does Superman, man, what a different take on this character. I was all, man, the suit, it looks stupid, whatever. I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of parts of the suit that kind of like go with the comics, like of the last kind of 15 years. So they do a little homage to that. They do a little throwback with some of the music and some of the ways that the you know, credits kind of come up, like old school Christopher Reeve. So there's a nod to that, which is cool. I always like when they do that. But this one blows it out of the park, bro. I'll be honest with you. Oh my God, a Wolfpack out there. This one, man, damn, bro. I'm telling you right now, look at it. I can't stop smiling. 2 big paw prints up for this one, man. It's a different angle. It's some humanity in there, some tender moments, some action, some comedy, it's just a really good fucking movie if you go for the ride and take away that whole, like, well, yeah, just go for it, man. James Gunn does a great job with this. He did the Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't know that James Gunn actually did the 13 Ghosts, which I love that movie, which is a horror movie. There's a lot of things that he's done, especially like on streaming services like the Creature Commandos. I know he did this the Suicide Squad movie and some cartoon movies for DC, and he just knocks it out of the park. I'll be honest with you. They did a great job with this movie, man. There was no like, whatever. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you. People were applauding in the theater. People were cheering. People were like, I was like, whoa, dude. Like, fans came out, man. You know what I mean? But again, it's just barely. They got some numbers out. They got like maybe another 8 million to go to like reach, you know, for their budget, and it's again still only the first weekend. They're gonna surpass that. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna surpass their budget, what they made with it. Very well deserved on this one. I totally went blown away. Me, Frankie, Spooky Bitch, we're all talking about it afterwards. We're all jazzed up about it. We're just like, dude, remember the time. And you know that's a movie that touches into that little kid, that fan in you. Doesn't matter what you thought about it. Even Spooky Bitch was talking about it. She goes, I really wasn't thinking too highly of it, whatever the hell's going on, and it just blew our minds for sure. We're me and Spooky Bitch, and I'm taking my son, little Adrian. We're all going again to go see again the movie again because it was that good. All the different parts. There was never a part in the movie that didn't belong in the movie. That didn't like allow it to do what it's got to do. There wasn't like a side story. There wasn't like a this. And the things that they actually put in there made sense, kind of a deal, and it kind of worked. You know what I mean? Sometimes you see one of these movies and they add too much ingredients into it that messes up the recipe. You know what I mean? And this one didn't do that. Everything needed to be there and everything made sense. There was no, why was that in the movie? They didn't even have to do that. Like, everything made sense and the whole thing. One thing I really thoroughly enjoyed about the movie, though, is that they really kept Superman as Superman. Normally, a lot of the Superman movies, he's like a Clark Kent or something, whatever. There's a very, I think Henry Cavill kind of really did a good job of not being too much Clark Kent in his movies, because he was Superman in most of his movies. This one does kind of the same thing. A couple scenes maybe with him as Clark Kent and whatever, but other than that, like, he was Superman kind of a deal. But it does show a different side of him. It does show a lot of things where you're like, oh, it's that person, oh, that person, oh my God, that actor's in it, which is cool. I didn't know some actors were going to be in it or who were playing certain parts. So it kind of gave you a different thing. Even after the movie, I started looking at some interviews and stuff on Facebook and Instagram with some of the actors that were in the movie and stuff, and it was freaking crazy how like much that I enjoyed like the camaraderie and the fun and all that kind of stuff that comes with it. It was just really good. So if you ever have a chance to see it, y'all, Superman, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie so much that I'm seeing it again. You know what I mean? And I normally say I'm going to see another movie again, but this one I'm actually going to go see again today. So Superman 2, big paw prints up, y'all. I can tell you right now. Loved it. Loved it. Like I left the movie theater and I was still like dun, 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 dun. Like, you know what I mean? Like it kind of threw me in that aspect, man. And look at, I'm still smiling with it and all that kind of good shit. So really good movie. If you have a chance, go see it. Please go see it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's a lot of cool effects and this and that, whatever. But it was great. Honestly, it was a great movie. So I can't stop fucking saying that. But it was a great movie. Hopefully you get a chance to see it. And again, one of the movies that I'm going to be seeing today before we re-see the Superman movie is going to be Abraham's Boys, I believe. It's like a Dracula story kind of a deal. Van Helsing's kids, or Abraham Van Helsing, his kids don't realize that he has a tie to Dracula. And so it's like this indie little short movie or whatever. It's like an hour and a half or whatever. But we're going to go check that out. So I'll give you a review on that next episode. But yes, Superman, if you have a chance to go see it, please go see it. All right? So we've done announcements. We've done movie reviews. We've done all that kind of good stuff going on for sure. Another movie that I kind of really re-saw again. I had seen it a long time ago. It's a Rob Schneider movie, an old movie, Big Stan. It kind of had some laughs in it, whatever. Me and Spooky Bitch were kind of on the couch yesterday and just kind of chilling. But Big Stan with Rob Schneider, it's a guy that gets ready to go to jail again. Kind of like Get Hard, Will Ferrell, kind of Kevin Hart kind of a deal. Funny movie, man. It's good. That was cool for the ride too. Me and Spooky Bitch were kind of laughing like, hey, that was actually a pretty good movie, man. So if you have a chance to see that, that's on Tubi, I believe. But go ahead and check that one out as well, everybody, all right? Little Big Stan. No throwback to Rob Schneider. I got Frankie texting me right now. Are we gonna do a podcast tonight? I said, dog, I'm gonna be at a double feature, man. So maybe next week. All right. So everybody, I want to kind of get into the topic. So we're gonna go into the topic discussion right now. Topic discussion of the week, right? So, like I said, this week had its challenges, and I think that one of the biggest things for us is that we use that word struggle a lot. I'm struggling. And something that I kind of realized this week that I had to work on was look at life like a set of challenges, right? Because a lot of people say that, I'm getting tested. Well, where's the Scantron, motherfucker? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid growing up, man, we had Scantrons. And if I ain't got a Scantron, I ain't getting tested, bro. You know what I mean? There's not a pop quiz in life. Shit just happens, you know what I mean? But a lot of us, we kind of see those little moments as certain things for us that we kind of might feel that we are struggling, right? And I'm not saying that you don't struggle, but I think the fact is, mentally, for a lot of us, when we start struggling, we feel like we're losing. Maybe we feel like we're not doing something right. Maybe we kind of feel like, we're not good enough or whatever, and we just feel like it's, somehow life's against me or something, and it's not the case, man. Life comes with challenges, man. And the reason why I say challenges is because you can always confront challenges. You can always howl at those motherfuckers. You can always get those challenges and look at them as obstacles for you to get through and get over and to learn and to grow and get stronger, y'all. So this week, that's what I kind of want to take a look at, changing the mentality. Life has challenges, right? Even though you might be struggling, it's challenges. Now, I like the word, like I said, this week, went through a lot of stuff where I kind of felt like I was struggling, right? But when I took a step back and I was able to breathe a little bit, I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm really struggling right now, man. Life is challenging, which means it's a little overwhelming. There's a couple things I got to work on. But you know what? Being able to be a challenge, I know that there's a way out and there's a way that I'm going to get through. When it's a struggle, you kind of feel like you don't have that insight, man. You kind of feel like you're losing at it, right? You're kind of you're lost or whatever the hell's going on. So I think the fact is, this week I was changing my mindset a little bit, man, where I was like, you know what? It was challenging, right? And it's like if you ever do like a word crossword or fucking some kind of Sudoku or some kind of puzzle, right? Back when I was growing up, they had this thing called TV Guide. And all my old school motherfuckers will know what I'm talking about. TV Guide used to come out in the beginning of I think it was the beginning of it. They used to have a crossword, man, and I used to love doing the crossword. Even though I didn't always fill it out or get all the answers to it, I loved doing the crossword, man. You know what I mean? And one of the things that I think for me is that it was challenging. You know what I mean? I knew there was a solution. I knew there was an answer, but maybe I couldn't see it in the moment. So I think the fact is, this week, I kind of went back to that mentality, man. You know what I mean? Like, man, it's been challenging. How am I going to do this, right? When I'm struggling, I can't seem to get, like, there's a solution or there's a way out or a light at the end of the fucking tunnel. You know what I mean? It kind of feels like I'm kind of like trying to catch my breath sometimes. And some of y'all out there in Wolfpack Land, if you ever felt that way, you know, comment, you know, on, after this episode, or just shoot me a comment or whatever on Messenger or Facebook, Instagram, whatever. But I know that this week kind of looked at certain things as challenging. And the reason why is because I got through it. It's the weekend. I was able to do all my fucking homework assignments. I'm taking 2 classes at a time right now for this master's program. And I'm like, next week we'll be halfway done with the first 2 classes. And one of the things that happened for me this week was I was trying to figure out, like, you know, I had the schedule, right? Which is great. I have these plans and these schedules, right? It's going to go this way. And I was like, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, man, those are my school nights, blah, blah, blah. And I'll knock my shit out, done, whatever. And then I started looking at one of these classes tells me I have to do like this case study, right? And I was like, not a big deal. I write a little paper, blah, blah, blah. This teacher put in like 15 questions that I had to answer. Each of the questions had to have a reference. You know, and she wanted to write a paper. At the end of the whole thing, I was like, oh shit, like, how am I going to do this? So, you know, the challenge was, how am I going to do it, right? So I know that there's a way. I'm going to get it done, okay? So again, there's a solution. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. And I started working on it a little bit at one night, another night, another night, another night. I'm like, fuck, I'm still working on this fucking thing, right? So I was knocking it out little by little. And then yesterday morning, I had a couple tattoos that were supposed to come through. So 2 of them rescheduled, but 2 of them came through. I did some step work, and then, you know, just chilled here at the pad, watched the movie and shit, you know what I mean, that Big Stan movie. And, but I got through it. Once I got through it, I was like, I'm done. But when I looked at the paper, I tripped out. It ended up being a 16-page fucking paper, y'all, with like about 8 or 9 references, y'all. Fucking doing it. But man, did I feel fucking like, whew. But now, once Saturday was over, today's Sunday, man, I hit the gym, I recycled, did a couple errands, you know, was talking to Spooky Bitch about some stuff. And, you know, got to the gym, come back, all right, cool, everything's done. I'm gonna fucking hit a double feature later today. After I shower, man, I gotta shower. But you know what I mean? I did all this stuff, and I was like, all right, cool, no problem. But when I look back, it wasn't a struggle, it was a challenge, bro. You know what I mean? I just didn't know how I was gonna get through it, you know? But I still had that hope. See, that's the difference, I think, between being challenged, right, and struggling. Sometimes when I'm struggling, I don't feel like I have hope, man. I feel like I'm losing the game. You know what I mean? Some of y'all out there, if you've ever felt like that, like I said, comment on this bad boy. But some of y'all I know out there in Wolfpack Land, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You got these moments in life, and then another fucking thing happens, another thing happens. It just feels like you're fucking drowning, man. Like you're in quicksand. There's no, like, how do I get out of this shit? So you start losing hope a little bit. You know what I mean? You start losing that, like, you know, you start getting that give up mentality. You know what I mean? That, fuck it, I'm not gonna do this shit. I'm gonna fuck it. I felt like that with that paper I had to write, right? And so part of the thing that I realized this week is that I had to start looking at life as being full of challenges. You know what I mean? Which means that there's an answer, but I have to find out the answer, and I have to figure out how to get through it, but I will get fucking through it, which again was able to allow me to know that I had some hope. You know, I know a lot of people that when life hits, man, you know, things are going smooth. You know what I mean? You think you got control. You think everything's going well, but then all of a sudden something will happen, something will pop up, and then all of a sudden what happens? Boom, boom, boom. You start losing hope. I don't know if I can do this, and we'll whoop or whatever. And then, you know what I mean? That mindset kind of fucks with you a little bit, man. You know what I mean? That you feel like you want to give up. You feel it's not worth it. Then you start fucking thinking about yourself a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if I can do this shit. Maybe I shouldn't. Blah, blah. All that doubt and fucking shit kicks in. So I kind of had those moments a little bit this week, man. And, you know, I had to change that perception. You know, and I had to be like, dude, you're just challenged. Now, when I look at being challenged, that means you're capable, right? So everybody in here, I'm telling you right now, you're capable of getting through fucking life. You don't have to end it. You don't have to fucking use dope. You don't have to fucking do some stupid shit to fuck up your life because you're going through a moment. I thoroughly believe in everybody out there that you're able to face any challenge that life will throw at you. Keep howling at it, man. And if you don't believe, I'll believe for you motherfuckers, right? I'm just letting you know right now. I'm telling you right now, I know you're capable of it, right? So part of the thing for this week is when I changed that perception, I was like, all right, I'm being challenged, which means I have the potential to get through this shit. I know I can get through it, man. Even if I didn't fully believe it, I know that there's somewhere in me, I have somewhere, either the physical, the fucking the mental, the fucking emotional, spiritual. I have something to get me through this fucking time, man. And now, like I said, it's Sunday, I'm looking back, I go, challenge accepted, motherfucker. Challenge met and challenge won, dog. You know what I mean? That's how we do it. And that's the whole thing, man. You know, I think that if we start looking at life as these little bits of challenges, man, you get to enjoy the fact that you found that deal, man. You know, a couple months ago, my boss, when we had this staff meeting, he gave us this Sudoku puzzle. I love Sudoku puzzles. And they were like medium, you know, there's like 2 different ones and whatever. And I started going to town during the meeting, and whatever. And I looked at it, I was like, fuck, it's challenging, bro. You know what I mean? I wasn't struggling, bro. It was just challenging, you know what I mean? Like, it was hard at the moment, right? But I got it done. It took me a couple weeks, but I got it done. I was like, I'm done with this shit. Fuck, look at it. I found out the answer, bro. You know what I mean? And afterwards, I sat back and I was like, I did this shit. So I think the fact is, you know what I mean? When I struggle or I feel like I'm struggling, I don't have that sense of accomplishment from getting through the struggle. I feel like I barely made it sometimes, man. You know what I mean? I feel like, fuck, man, like shit, like when the next wave gonna hit, you know what I mean? But when I face challenges and I overcome them, you know, I feel like I accomplished something, man. I feel like there's a part of me that got pushed to the potential that I need to be. And meeting that potential, man, I feel better about my fucking self. I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? It's like putting together IKEA fucking furniture, man. If anybody's ever put IKEA furniture together, it's like a fucking challenge, bro. And you feel like you're struggling, trust me. But once you put it together and you sit down on that furniture, you use it, you're like, I did that shit, dog. And then you tell every motherfucker that comes, bro, you know what I mean? And what you do this weekend, I had to put together some IKEA furniture, bro. And then you start inviting motherfuckers over and like, see that thing right there? Oh, was that the one you're talking about, bro? Yeah, I put that shit together, bro. Oh, that fucking took forever, dog, you know? And so that's the whole thing, right? You might not know the answers in the moment, but it doesn't mean that you don't have the potential, right, to face the challenge that comes. And that's something for me that really got into my head this week, because life's not gonna stop giving me challenges. It doesn't mean I can't fucking face them. It doesn't mean I can't meet the challenge. But like I said, challenge accepted, man. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us, we struggle when we get challenged in life. You know what I mean? Whether it's financially, whether it's fucking with relationships, maybe our own self. I know this week that I grew, I found out some more shit about myself and I grew a little bit more and stuff like that. And, you know, one of the things that I kind of realized, man, is that even though I got through some challenges this week, that doesn't mean they're going to stop. You know what I mean? Like if I order a new bed, right? Put it together, it's a challenge, whatever, blah, blah, it's done, that's it. I don't have to worry about that motherfucker for years, bro, until I need a new bed, right? Or whatever the fuck it is. Part of the thing is, though, life doesn't wait that long. You know what I'm saying? Life will probably challenge you, you know, weekly, monthly, fucking yearly, and, you know, it doesn't kind of stop. But if I struggle, it almost makes it feel like, you know, I'm trying to walk up this uphill battle that I don't feel like I'm ever gonna fucking get to the top. Challenges, once you meet them and accept them and boom, you knocked them out and you found out a way to fucking do all that shit and like, you know what I mean? And you maybe had some doubt and some worry that you were gonna be able to like to rise up to the occasion. Once you look back, you're like, fuck yeah, I did that, man. Guess what? I can meet any challenge that fucking comes up, bro. You know what I mean? And so I think for me personally, it's being able to change that mindset so we can fucking feel at least a little bit more ready for that next challenge or that next hump that might come into our lives. You know what I mean? Because I don't know about you, but if another fucking challenge comes up in my life, I don't want to feel like I'm not ready for it, or I don't want to feel like I'm not able to do it or something like that. When I'm struggling, I kind of feel like, fuck, it's a never ending fucking battle, man. But I'll be honest with you, when I meet challenges, there's something that happens in my head, and I'm hoping in some of yours, if you could change that mentality a little bit, that, yeah, I can meet anything that comes my way. Or, the next time this happens, all right, cool, man, I can fucking, I can face it, right, a little bit easier, man. I feel like a little stronger, man, or a little bit more knowledgeable, or I got a little more experience under my belt, like I can do this shit. So part of the thing I think this week for me was that whole thing with school, right? Now, the next thing I fucking had to deal with, especially with changing that mentality with, into challenges, was work. A couple weeks ago, we kind of let go of one of our programs, and some few people left, and there's another gentleman that's going to be leaving at the end of this month. So I have more people, and so I was challenged to meet all my new clients. My client caseload tripled, and I had to meet everybody there. And then with all the other shit going on, they let go of one of the vans, and then, so there's So I'm like, okay, well, I have an SUV that I have a 3-row, so I can meet the challenge on that, whatever, and trying to organize everything, man, and trying to hit all the mark. I did it, and I did it with a few hours done every day, to do notes and to just chill and watch some Netflix and play some games on my phone. But I was able to meet that challenge. Now, the reason why I'm saying challenges, next week I gotta meet a whole other fucking requirement for shit. Next week I gotta meet a whole other requirement for shit. The next week so the challenges, if I'm like, yeah, I faced that challenge accepted, challenge done this week, cool. All right, what's up with the next week, bro? Right now I don't have to worry about it. Tomorrow is my work, Monday through Friday is what I work. Okay, cool, I'll worry about it fucking Monday. But I know that I kind of feel a little bit more motivated, a little more inspired, that the next week I'll be able to attack that week too. You know what I mean? I think that in the week or two, I'll be already 4 months at this job, man. You know what I mean? And every month that I was fucking there was different sets of challenges that I had to face. There was fucking working in a different field, working with a different population, going back into school, trying to figure out a new way to do notes because we work with Medi-Cal and stuff like that, and kind of deal. Trying to figure out the fucking scheduling and how it works and what dress code. I found out I could fucking wear shorts. I'm like, well, fucking get down, dog. I can wear shorts to work. Fuck, that's cool. They don't really have dress code. But there's all these little things I had to face, man. And I think that, if I look at it as a struggle, I'm not gonna look forward to going to work. I'm gonna be like, fuck, dude, this is too hard for me. I start fucking getting that mentality, man. And I don't know about you, but I want to wake up Monday fucking refreshed from the weekend and go like, all right, cool, it's Monday, baby. Let's see what the week has, man. You know what I mean? And be able to be adaptable and flexible with that shit. Because I know that last week I met my challenges, right? That came in my life. This week I can meet the same shit, you know what I mean? Because I got personal shit, I got fucking recovery shit, I got fucking, my entertainment shit, I got my fucking schooling shit, I got my fucking career shit, I got my personal life shit, my own spirituality shit. I got a lot of challenges and a lot of this week. And I met all of them, right? So part of the thing I think for me was being able to learn that, especially with work or whatever, like to stay organized and stay on top of it, because let's get real, stuff kind of changes once in a while, man. You know what I mean? In our job, it kind of changes almost every day. So I kind of had to get that mentality. And also another thing I realized with my own recovery, I'm coming up on 16 years on Tuesday. And you know what I mean? I have a whole year of experience. I have a whole year of fucking growth. I have a whole other year. And I started seeing other ways where I can challenge myself more, like more commitments, more ways that I can invest myself, man. More ways that I can go in this. Because I don't know about you, but when I get an accomplishment, I'm like, fuck yeah, bro, I feel solid, man. I want more of that. See, I want to feel more solid in my life. The more solid I feel, the better my how will be when I am fucking, facing life. You know what I'm saying? So I think for me personally, right, I got to the point where I was like, you know what, I gotta see things in a different way. And so even with my recovery, you know what I mean? I was trying to figure out where to incorporate everything, and I'm gonna do this, whatever. And then I had this meeting on Thursday night, man, and my sponsor took 19 years. I'm gonna be taking 16 and stuff and whatever. And I came up with this thing where I'm like, fuck, well, I want to be able to incorporate everything, but I kind of feel like whatever, man. And so it was a challenge to kind of figure out where I can like time manage my shit. And so what I did is I said, you know what, solution, bro, challenge accepted. I got the answer, bro. Wake up 15 minutes before. I can get my readings done. I can get my little fucking gratitude list done. I can get maybe a little couple prayers, a little bit of workout in the morning to pump my day. And then I'm golden, dog. Monday through Friday, bro. You know, Saturday, Sunday is a little different, but I can be golden, right? So I did that on Friday. You know what I mean? I said, okay, what's the challenge? Okay, get up. But see, I got cocky, bro. You know, the thing is, when you're gonna face a challenge, don't get cocky with it. I was telling myself, I'm gonna wake up at 6. I usually wake up at 7. I'm gonna wake up an hour early. Don't get too cocky and overconfident. Start small, man, especially when you're meeting with challenges, man. I was like, well, I'm gonna wake up half an hour earlier. No, you're not. Like, I like to sleep. I like my bed. So I said, you know what? What's reasonable, right? So when I'm meeting with challenges and maybe I overcome one, man, let's get real. Don't get over cocky, okay? Stay humble. And one of the things that I did was I was like, you know what? What's reasonable? Can I wake up 15 minutes earlier? Just 15 minutes. I said Monday through Friday, 15 minutes earlier. I'll sleep in fucking Saturdays and Sundays. Me and Spooky Bitch went to work out today and said, you know what? We like working out Sundays. We should keep that as a day, but don't lock it in like that, right? Just be like, hey, let's hit the gym. You know what I mean? Because we like that not a lot of people are there. We get to, like, you know, use all the machines that we need to do and all that kind of shit. So Friday, what I did is I woke up 15 minutes earlier. I did my reading. I did my little gratitude list, a little bit of prayer. And I said, all right, cool. You know what? Got my weights, kind of did a little bit whatever, blah, blah, blah. Showered up, still made it to work. Everything was cool. So I was like, okay, challenge accepted. What's the answer? Wake up 15 minutes earlier. Start my day 15 minutes earlier, man. It's not going to kill me, dog. You know what I mean? Okay, that means I got to make sure that I sleep at a good hour, though. You know what I mean? I got to make sure that I'm set up. Okay, so that's the challenge, right? Being able to be consistent is another challenge, though, right? Just because I set things in motion, it's consistency. That's going to be the challenge after, right? Is to be consistent with what you're doing, right? So part of the thing is trying to find those moments where you can be reasonable with yourself to meet those challenges that life comes up, but also be consistent with it, man, because everybody wants to be, you know, I'm gonna go to the gym an hour every day, 2 hours every day. It's like, but that's not life, you know, that's not realistic, man. Life's gonna throw fucking some curveballs at you. Life's gonna throw some different shit that might happen. I know for work, I'm gonna be going to a fishing trip. I get paid to do a lot of cool shit. Fishing trip this next Friday. The following week, we're going to fucking doing a beach thing or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see how we can incorporate that. And so I can't be like so set in my routine that I can't be flexible to meet the challenge. See what I'm saying? We start setting ourselves up like that, but it's like, make sure that you're setting yourself up to succeed, not to fucking fail, man. So part of the thing is I found a little fucking solution for myself. I said, what's the challenge? I'm trying to incorporate this in my day every day. When can you do it though? You know what I mean? I'm like, well, you know, because work gets busy. I don't know. Cool. For those 15 minutes in the morning, boom, challenge accepted. Now I just got to meet that challenge to be consistent with it, right? Like, you know, I might be tired, I might be this, but did you get it done? Did you get it done? Did you get it done? It doesn't have to be done perfectly, but did you get it done, right? Because that's that challenge that a lot of us have to meet. That perfection, right? You're not going to be perfect, y'all, okay? You're going to do it the best you can. But if you can do it at least the best that you can for that moment, then you're good. I'm not going to wake up every morning fucking glad that I'm waking up 15 minutes early. Some days are going to be better than others. But at the same time, I got to stay consistent with my own shit. I got to be able to say, hey, look, you know, this is what I'm doing. You know, I'm doing the best, you know, I mean, fuck it, it got done, but at least I got it done, you know, because really what it is, that challenge is the consistency, you know what I mean? I can't just howl at life one time and be like, I'm done, I'm good, sweet. Just like right now, there's not a lot of comedy shows. I got a lot of people telling me, hey man, your next comedy show, I want to go to it. I said, I'm not getting booked right now, you know what I mean? So I don't know what the fuck's going on. I used to get booked all the fucking time. My phone would ring every fucking month, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'd have a show. Now it's not happening. So my challenge is, well, okay, so how do I keep fucking that alive? Be creative, man. Get into fucking doing your little short films. Keep on doing this fucking podcast for y'all, you know, kind of a deal, so I can keep that going, right? And also, one of the things is, go do some open mic nights. You know what I mean? I'm on this webpage on Instagram, Orange County Stand Up, and they always announce every night, man, there's always places that do stand-up. All right, so I got to hit one of those motherfuckers, right? So maybe the weekends is my fucking time because the weeks just get really busy. Go hit up an open mic when you're able to, man. You know, okay, do an open mic when I'm able to. Got it, okay. So, you know what I mean? It's being able to help organize your life a little bit better, y'all, because there's a lot of shit that's going on. A lot of people are overwhelmed. A lot of people are losing hope, or a lot of people just feel like, fuck, man, I can't get above water on this shit. Being able to see life as challenges, man, allows you to know that there might be some things you can do to organize it better, to attack it better. And one of the best ways to attack things better is to change that fucking mentality. Everybody is capable of stepping up and facing and conquering that challenge, man. You know what I mean? It's not always that way when you think about struggling, dog. You know what I mean? It's a negative fucking like a tone when you think about struggling. But challenge is like challenge. Like, all right, challenge accepted, motherfucker. Let me see. You get a little, all right, mama. You get a little motivated right there, a little inspired. So that's something that I kind of learned this week, y'all. Maybe we need to start learning to, especially this week that's coming up, right, or whatever. Look at, life is a series of challenges, man, and the challenges are able to do. Now, if you feel like the challenge is too overwhelming, that's when you use that fucking squad. You use your fucking your own wolf pack or your people. Reach out for fucking help, man. Fucking stop trying to do everything on your own, dog. You know what I mean? There's nothing you got to prove. You know what I mean? So part of the thing is make sure that you all are trying to look at life as challenges, man. I mean, you might struggle, but you might not be struggling, man. You got your fucking electricity still on. You got your fucking food. You got fucking, shit in your life that's rocking. Look at that, man. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just you're feeling like you're struggling, but maybe it's just a challenge that you gotta fucking face. A challenge you gotta accept. A challenge you gotta figure out how to fucking get that solution or answer, man. And I'm pretty sure that that'll give you a better mindset, y'all, all right? All right, everybody, that's all the time we got this week, y'all. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to do a little bit of reading of this, take a little breather, and then get ready and go hit up some double features, y'all. Thank you for joining me for another episode. This solo episode right here, looking at life as a series of challenges, which means they're going to come up. So why wouldn't we want to set ourselves up for the success? You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all. Loving each and every one of y'all, man. Howl at life, man. Find a way to howl at life. And if you don't, listen to this motherfucker, and hopefully it'll inspire you. Share it, like it, tell everybody about it, post it on your social media, everybody. Much love. We'll see you next episode, everybody. We're going to go out like we always do.